morning everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be doing my 27-week pregnancy update, and you'll have to ignore my toddler in the background because it is his awake time, so I'm just trying to get this filmed as quickly as I can because it is meant to be going up today. If you guys are new here, I post 4 videos every single week, so if you're interested in anything related to pregnancy, toddlers, newborns, or even just family week in the life vlogs, then you'll find it all on my channel, and I hope you guys subscribe by the end of this video. Are you gonna say hello? Hello. Yeah. Hello. So at 27 weeks pregnant, baby is about 38 centimeters long and just over 2 pounds, so just over a kilo for those of you who are in Australia. 27 weeks is also the last week of the second trimester, so you're getting close to the home stretch and closer to meeting your new one. Symptoms have changed a little bit for me this week. I've noticed that my morning sickness is starting to come back, and I've also had a lot more pressure on my ribs. Having the body pillow now is about the only way that I get a proper night's sleep, and I'm also finding that I need to make sure I take a bottle of water to bed with me. That's something that I used to always do anyway, but during this pregnancy I got a little bit slack with it, and I was noticing that if I didn't take one to bed, I was just getting up a million times because I was just getting really thirsty. So my increased thirst has definitely started to pick up again. I'm just constantly thirsty, which is something that's a little bit unusual for me when it is cold weather like this. I usually don't feel like drinking much. My bladder is flat out. I can't even like count how many times I'm going to the toilet each day, but I know that within a space of like getting Hunter up for the morning, I need to go straight away, and then by the time I've got him changed, I need to go again. So definitely feeling that pressure on my bladder at the moment. So I did finally get a call back from the midwives and I did pass my glucose test. However, my iron came back low. So the next time I see them, I will more than likely be having another iron infusion. I had one done with my son because I became anemic with him. Iron tablets just don't really work for me, so the infusion is kind of the best way to go for me because I do tend to lose a lot of blood during surgery or birth or like any of that. I just bleed quite a lot. So I'm going to sort that out in the next couple of weeks. This coming Friday, which will be part of my 28-week pregnancy update, I have got my first growth scan. So I have 3 growth scans this pregnancy at 28 weeks, 32 weeks and 36 weeks. And the reason for that is because with my son I had low amniotic fluid, which caused a lot of issues in the 3rd trimester, but I also have quite a low BMI, so they need to keep an eye on baby's weight and size and make sure that they're still growing properly and all of that. So it's just kind of like a precaution. So that is on Friday, which is also my birthday. This week I also booked in my birth class. So I've booked in a tour of the maternity ward, which if you have not had a baby before, I highly recommend. The only reason why I'm having one this time is because it's a new hospital for me, so I don't quite know where everything is or what their facilities are like. And then I've also booked in a birth class because I did not do that with my son. So I'd like to get a little bit more information. However, the only issue is they've booked it in for a couple of days before I turn 37 weeks. So hopefully I won't go into labour early this time. But at the same time, hopefully because of the fact that it's so close to when I'll be having my baby, the information will be somewhat fresh in my mind, even though baby brain is the worst. And you generally tend to forget a lot of things anyway. At this point in time, if you have not had a baby before, I would be recommending to go to a breastfeeding class, but I've already done one, so I won't be doing one this time. This week we have made some changes around the house and started getting everything ready because obviously getting into the 3rd trimester now, I want to make sure that there's not a lot that needs to be organised if for whatever reason I get put on bed rest or if baby comes early. So we've been trying to get Hunter's room sorted and turn that into a playroom, which I'm sitting in right now. And then for now, we're going to have both of them sleeping in our room just because it is cold and it's quite difficult to heat this house. But also we think that it will be the easiest transition for Hunter because we're going to be changing him into a toddler bed, so we thought it'd be best to just do one change for now and not anything too dramatic on him with only a little bit of time to go. This week is the week that I have officially been getting stuck on the floor, so if I sit on the floor, it is way too hard to get back up again. I'm having to either crawl to things if I'm in too much pain to get up, or I'm having to pull myself up on things. So definitely trying to minimize my need to be on the floor as much as possible, but that's easier said than done when you've got a toddler that you need to be able to sit around and play with. So I'm trying to make sure whenever I sit down, I'm a bit selective with where I sit so that I've got something in reach to get myself back up. But if Hunter drops things on the floor, a lot of the time now, if it's of an evening, it just stays on the floor till the next morning because I can't pick it up again because I'm usually too sore in the hips and back by a night time to actually do any of that. So about now is when you want to start booking in to get those whooping cough needles done, because they start doing them from 28 weeks to 32 weeks, although in Australia they have just changed it that you can get it from 20 weeks, and that's supposed to provide a little bit of immunity to the newborn. So even if you've already had your whooping cough done in the last couple of years, you'll still need a new one being pregnant again. So I'm going to go and get mine done a couple days after my birthday because I already have a scan that day and there's just a little bit much going on that day. So I'm going to go and get mine done when I'm 29 weeks pregnant instead of 28. And everyone else around me has already been updated. They got updated when Hunter was born, so thankfully I don't have to remind any of them. But if you are needing family or friends to be updated, just keep in mind that after they've had it for 2 years, it does start to lose effectiveness. So they do try and recommend that around the 5-year mark you try and get a new one. And it does take 2 weeks to come into effect in their system from the time that they have that needle done. Would you like a new tuck? Mummy fix it? So I have just packed baby's hospital bag, and I'm going to pack my hospital bag probably over the next week so that I can film it for you guys. Otherwise I probably wouldn't pack it until about 32 weeks. I am usually someone who is somewhat overly prepared and organized for things, but I'm trying this time to just chill out and not do everything too much. Like last time I had all of my baby stuff by 14 weeks, and this pregnancy I didn't even start buying stuff until around like after the 20-week mark. So this week we also decided that we're going to do disposable nappies for the first week just while we're in hospital and getting settled. Usually we do cloth with Hunter, but we decided that it's just going to be a little bit difficult, especially if I have a C-section, to keep on top of washing that and getting these two sorted and settled in with each other and letting Hunter get used to having a sibling around. So I do need to go and get some of those, but otherwise that is literally it that is left on my baby list, although you can guarantee I'm probably going to buy more stuff. Otherwise we are basically all prepared now. I have not moved the car seat into my car yet. We're probably going to do that around maybe 34, 35 weeks. But for the moment, we have it sitting in Tom's car just in case Hunter needs to go into his car for whatever reason at the moment on a weekend, which leaves me still with my car. But probably around 34, 35 weeks, we will move it into mine and have the car set up for them. Food aversions and cravings this week. There hasn't really been anything too much different. Again, like last week, I just haven't really felt like red meat. It even starting to taste a little bit funny to me. So I'm also leaning towards chicken meals. Otherwise, I'm not really craving anything out of the usual. Everything is pretty well the same as normal for me. So now with due date fast approaching, it's only a couple of months away. We're in June and I'm due in August. And I'm finding myself thinking more and more about the birth, and even like simple things like when I have Braxton Hicks that are really bad, I start to think about things like, what if I go into early labor again? So I'm hoping that things like these birth classes will ease my mind a little bit, but I know that with all of that approaching, I am getting a bit more nervous about NICU. I have got a significant amount of colostrum at the moment, so I'm going to go and get some syringes and start trying to collect a little bit of that If you have not had a baby before and this is your first baby, they don't recommend to do that until 36 weeks onwards, just because the stimulation can set labour onset and bring it on early. But because I've been feeding Hunter throughout this pregnancy, I'm already kind of used to that stimulation. So I am going to just take it as it goes and see how I go, but I want to try and get as much as I can before this baby is due, just in case I do go early like last time, because it was really important for us to have that when we were in the hospital and we went through it so fast. So as for my boobs, I still don't have like the full-on pregnancy boobs that I did with my son, like where everything just felt full or big, and everything still feels quite like empty and saggy since breastfeeding, but they are still evening out a little bit more. For those of you who haven't seen my previous pregnancy videos, my son only fed off one side 90% of the time, so one side was significantly smaller than the other after a while from that, and it's only just started to fix itself up now that I've stopped breastfeeding. Something that I have really struggled with this week is helping out with Hunter's showers. Hubby usually showers Hunter, and then I will usually come in and help dry him and pick him up and take him off him. But trying to sit on the ground, like I said, is just really hard to do at the moment, and I can't really lift Hunter as much because I'm finding it's just putting a little bit too much pressure on me. So shower time is definitely something that I have struggled with this week with him. Something else that has been an absolute mission this week for me is shaving. Trying to reach my legs or just like lift my leg to try and shave that is impossible. And if I am completely honest, TMI, trying to even see underneath my belly to see how bad of a situation down there is now impossible too, because trying to lift it just does not work. So something that I definitely need to start doing is booking in for some Brazilian waxing. When I was pregnant with Hunter, I used to go for regular waxing appointments, and it's easier said than done when you've got a toddler because I actually have to have the time to go to them. But I definitely need to start organizing them, because one thing I definitely do not want to happen, which happened with me last time with Hunter, was I missed my wax appointment because I went into labor early. And can I just say, of all the surgeries that I've had, if you do not wax that area, shaving is pointless because it grows back too fast. And if you have to have like a bandage put on for a C-section, then the initial one that goes on is incredibly painful to pull off. Hair makes that worse. And then all your bandages that you try to put on afterwards don't stick properly because hair's coming through, but you can't shave around that area because it's too sensitive from just having like a massive incision. So I definitely need to start organizing that now, because I cannot for the life of me see underneath to even know what I'm doing. And yeah, so TMI, but that's where I'm at. At this point in your pregnancy, you're going to notice that by an evening, you are just getting exhausted and sore. So you need to make sure that your dinners are as simple as possible. Something that I loved with my last pregnancy was my slow cooker, but because we are dairy free at the moment, it's a little bit difficult to come up with slow cooker options that Hunter can have. So I've been trying to buy a lot of things that can just go in the oven, like roast veggies and different kinds of meats. If you are really lucky to have someone to help you in the kitchen, then it would be a really good idea to start bulk making some lunches for yourself, so that during the week, if you don't feel up to making anything, you can just reheat it for yourself, because I am finding that things like that are helping a lot, especially when running after a toddler, because he definitely takes a lot of my energy during the day. So that's it for my 27-week pregnancy update. I'm going to show you guys where my belly is up to, and then that will be it for today's video. Okay, so this is where my belly is at. I turned 28 weeks today, so this is the end of 27 weeks for me. But definitely baby is sitting on the lower side, I think, than on the higher side. You can tell by the big curve at the top here. So that's it for my 27-week pregnancy update. My next one will be up next Monday, because you guys know I do these every week now on a Monday 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Australia. If you guys would like to see any more pregnancy, baby, toddler related videos, then check out my channel and make sure you subscribe. And a new weekly vlog goes out every Friday as well. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.